Stormwind at night. Such a lovely city. Just looks absolutely gorgeous. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to WoW, or to World of Warcraft Shadowlands. This is basically a follow-up to the previous video I did where we took a look at the stuff in the pre-patch. There were a few things I was reminded about, and I actually wanted to go ahead and show these on camera if I could. I may even do some more depending on what else I find, as I'm sure there's plenty that people are curious about and still trying to figure out and understand. There's still lots of players that I'm seeing, like on social media stuff, Twitter, Facebook, that they're still asking lots of different questions that, I mean, I personally know was kind of addressed and answered a year ago when they announced this expansion at BlizzCon, but some players, I guess, don't pay attention or whatever, so, you know. Oh, sorry, I may have just hit the mic there. So there's a few things here in Stormwind specifically, which is why I switched over to my Demon Hunter here to take a look at. This, I'm more than likely going to be using this guy to check out the Venthyr stuff. By the way, in case you're curious, because I've been hearing a lot of talk about Demon Hunters getting nerfed. For one thing, immolation is not an actual talent to choose anymore. It's just baseline. They basically have, changed some things, but for the most part, when I look at my build here, this was basically the build, though I think I was back and forth between this one or this one. But yeah, essentially this was the build that I was using in in patch 8.3 when we were raiding in Nyalotha. It's just a matter of, like, the actual, like, different changes and such, tweaks that they've been trying to make to this. It looks like when we actually get to Shadowlands, I'll be able to continue, get stuff like, Fell Rush will actually have its damage increased. Meta will have an upgrade. That is something I am noticing. Metamorphosis is not available to me anymore right now. I do not have Metamorphosis anymore at this point. That's something you get later on. That's interesting. Oh, wait, no, it's right here. I'm an idiot. 4th rank to this. That's interesting. So, okay, look at that. Activating meta resets the cooldown of Blade Dance and Eye Beam. That used to be... Okay, so that was an Azurite armor talent that I used here. Right here. No, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not that one. Which one was it? There was an Azurite armor piece that I had with a talent that would make it where on your right here, Chaotic Transformation. When you activate Metamorphosis, the cooldown of Eye Beam and Blade Dance is immediately reset. So that used to be a talent that you would choose in Azurite armor. That's now just going to be baseline as you level up your Demon Hunter at level 54. Chaos Strike will get stronger. And Furious Gaze. So they're basically just moving the popular Azurite armor talents into, like, your spell book as you level. I like that. I like it when they go, you know what, this was really strong and popular. Let's just make it baseline for the class. So, I mean, and right now, I'm not really sure how much of a nerf this class actually is right now. Like, for one thing, I still have 2 charges of Fell Rush. And maybe statistically, numbers-wise, it's going to be nerfed. But if it's still fun to play, that's really what matters to me. I don't care how strong the class is. I care if it's still fun to play. That was the whole reason I chose this Demon Hunter to play through the BFA Alliance content, because of how much fun the class was to play. So, if it's still fun to play, I'll still be looking forward to playing it when I decide to go ahead and do this. The content on this character in Shadowlands. And it's going to be this one more so than the one on my Horde side, partly because I've grown a little attached to the guild that this character is a part of, my Alliance guild. There are some good people I've gotten to. They were the ones I got to have fun going through Nyalotha with. We would clear it on Heroic. We would We did the first 4 bosses. I should let me rephrase that. We did the first 3 on Mythic. We were able to clear the first 3 on Mythic a few times, and we beat Shadhar on Mythic once. After that, we tried the following week on Hive Mind, and that's basically where our raid group kind of started to break down. And we basically at that point were like, okay, we've probably come as far as we can because we couldn't really get a more stable group. But for me personally, that's pretty fun and awesome for me personally to think of how far I've come. That I went from being where I used to be to now being able to have actually done some mythic raid bosses in the current raid. I know some people are going to probably roll their eyes at that and, ridicule or say it's not that impressive or that Nyalotha is not a legit raid or I don't know, any other of that stuff to try and disqualify stuff like that and say it's not an achievement or anything. For someone like me, it matters, considering where I used to be as a player. To be able to, and I know some people say, well, that's because you're playing a demon hunter where all you gotta do is just roll your head on the keyboard. I get so sick of the insults that are thrown my way just because I play a demon hunter. I'm so sick of it. I know it's more so directed at the class and not the player, but I'm sick of being told things like, I don't need a brain cell to play this class. That I only have to press 1 button or 2 buttons to play this class. I'm so sick of it. It gets really grating and it gets very insulting. I get so tired of it. Anyways, enough about my ranting. There are a few things I wanted to show while we are here. So first off, this is going to involve something that I guess is not quite in the game yet. Hold on. Because there doesn't really seem to be... By the way, did Blizz decide to just go ahead and add this here as part of the base game? Because it used to be I had to put add-ons here to show the locations of raids and dungeons. Did they? Okay, not all of it. Okay, because that's just showing the Blackwing Descent. Okay, hold on. No, I can't do that. Okay. Anyways. There is a cinematic cutscene that is on... At first it was just on the Wowhead channel. Now it's on the official World of Warcraft channel. I'm not going to pull it up and show it because I'm going to wait until I figure out how to access it within the game before I show it to you. But just to let you guys know, this has to do with that, okay? Take a look at who is on the throne in Stormwind. Could you please move and get your name tag out of the way? Turalyon. Yes, Turalyon is sitting on the throne. Why? Well, because Anduin is a little absent at the moment. Yeah, he's not able to actually be here right now. Now, as to how or why, I'm going to wait until I can actually show you the cutscene to explain that. But I thought I would just show that to you. That right now, that is kind of a, oh, type of thing. To see Turalyon sitting there. Alright, the next thing I want to show you, this is really sad. I may end up getting a little emotional or even start to rant about this. Well... I might end up getting a little personal here, but there's something that they added here in the cathedral, and it's... well, I'll explain. I saw someone else do this on their stream, so I'm pretty sure I know exactly where they are. Ah. There. This, now, for those who don't know, because you may look at this and go, oh, this is just a rogue trainer. No, no, no. That name, that is the name of a player who used to play this game, and I fully admit and acknowledge I did not know of him before I heard about him. I was not aware of him or his accomplishments in this game. And when I heard the news, that's when I first heard of him. But gosh, you never want to hear about somebody in that regard. He committed suicide. And he... From what I understand, he was a streamer. He was a very well-accomplished PvP player in this game. He played, obviously, a rogue. What bothers me is that... Now, people say he had some mental issues. What really bothers me was that there was footage and such shown that what may have helped cause him to reach that decision is that he had viewers and people tell him to kill himself. Like, repeatedly. Now, the reason this spot really gets to me and bothers me, I'm sorry if I start to get a little emotional here, but I grew up constantly getting bullied and picked on. Like, it was a constant, regular thing for me. You know, I was an only child. I moved around from, place to place, went from different school to different school. And basically, at multiple school locations, I was usually the target of bullying. Now, I've never reached a point in my life where I was so upset or sad or depressed or anything of that regard to the point where I considered actually taking my own life. I don't think I could ever actually reach that point, as suicide is just not really something that I personally, that I believe in, so I would never consider doing that myself personally. And anytime I hear about someone choosing to take their own life, it really saddens me. And this is why whenever I hear of somebody telling somebody else to kill themselves, like, I've heard people say that, like after a video game match or something, like they'll say, go kill yourself. And I'm sorry, but that crosses the line for me. Because, well, I mean, you never know how much that's actually going to affect somebody. You never know what kind of effect what you thought was some kind of goofing around or joking or not being serious can actually do to somebody. And this is coming from somebody who was victimized, by bullying for a long time. Don't ever, ever tell somebody to kill themselves. Please. Joking around about suicide is not funny at all. You don't know what the kind of insults and such that you can just casually toss around at people, even on the internet, can result in. Now, I'm not saying, or I don't know if those people who told him to kill himself is what actually caused RIPreckful to take his life. But I'm sure it didn't help. And in my mind, in my eye, there is no excuse whatsoever for those people saying that. There is no excuse for you to tell somebody to kill themselves. None at all. I do want to say kudos to Blizzard for trying to honor him and his memory by having him be an NPC in this game. It's something that Blizzard has done a lot over the years. Someone, sadly passes away for one reason or another, and Blizzard tries to honor them by having them immortalized in their game. It's happened many times. And Blizzard wanted to honor his memory by having him be here in the game. And I have seen people come here and they just, pay their respects. If you interact with him, by the way...
What can I do for you?
I say him as a female PC. I don't train assassination rogues. I believe that's a nod, because I think I heard that he used to only be... he used to only play subtlety, I think. Obviously, I can't do training because I'm a demon hunter.
Safe travels.
But you can see, it was good seeing you again.
Be careful.
I think I... And RIPreckful hugs you. Oh... Like, there's, like, certain interactions that you can do with, with the NPC here that they will react to. But really quick, before I end this, I don't want to let those who, treated him like that to get off the hook. Because I really hope those who actually told him that to kill himself, I hope they feel absolutely terrible right now, and I hope they live with that for the rest of their days, knowing that they told him to commit suicide and then he did. I hope they're proud of themselves. I hope they feel so good about telling somebody to take their own life, and then they do. Because, my gosh, what is wrong with you? What kind of horrible person are you to actually tell somebody to commit suicide? To end their own life. How dare you? This is something that really bothers me. So forgive me if I get a little passionate about this, even though I hardly knew RIPreckful before this heartbreaking news about him. But it's just this constant thing where hearing or seeing somebody tell another person to kill themselves, it really, really bothers me. Because then that person is gone forever. And there's no taking it back after that. Not at all. So I implore you, never resort to insulting somebody or saying something like that. You may end up regretting it forever. Please do not cause more people like RIPreckful to take their own life.
Need help? Have a good one.
Okay. Now, there's one more thing on my mind that I do want to show you here, and I believe you can access this in either capital city. I'm just going to go ahead and do it here in Stormwind because we're right here, so. So let's see if I can find this. I believe it's somewhere near the embassy. So there was something that they actually advertised for players that they could do if they had met a certain criteria. And I'm curious if I actually qualify. I think it's somewhere around here. Ah, here it is. So this is a guide recruiter, apparently. Celeste Periwinkle. There is actually a new system in place where you can actually apply to be a guide for newer players if you are someone who has met the criteria. And I'm very curious what it says about me.
Times were simpler once.
Be a guide. Are you a knowledgeable player who wants to help newcomers as they are learning the game? As a guide, your main role will be to answer questions in the newcomer chat channel. You'll be marked with a special icon in the world so the newcomers will be able to recognize you and vice versa. So my eligibility looks like I am level 50. I have done over 3,000 quests. And I have at least 2 achievements of, I think, 4 or 5 that they said you could get, which was, a couple of the ones from BFA. So, I can become a guide.
What's ours?
Ta-da! Now, I wonder if that is account-wide. Like, is my account now flagged as a guide, or is it just this character? Huh. I mean, I am someone who, of course, doesn't mind whatsoever actually answering questions and helping out new players because I was once a new player, and I can tell you guys, I wish this system was in play back when I first started this game, because I would have loved to have had some other, players and guides helping me out figure out what to do and where to go, and, learning other things that I didn't know about. I do find it funny that there are certain people, not to name any names, that cannot apply to be a guide if they actually have some kind of penalty on their account. So, I am now a guide for new World of Warcraft players, and I have no problem at all doing that. But again, my question is, because it didn't really clarify for me. In fact, what happens if I talk to her again?
Every hand helps.
Thank you for helping newcomers. Click here if you would like to stop serving as a guide. But again, what I'm curious about... Now, hold on. Let's test this. So, right now, my main Demon Hunter here, Nixidin, is flagged as a guide. Here's my question. Is it account-wide, or is it character-focused? Is Nixidin himself only flagged as a guide? Or is it any of my characters? So let's see. So let's really quick. I imagine it's probably near the embassy. So let's go to the embassy in Orgrimmar. And if you're curious, yes, I am only, just using the default interface and all stuff. I'm not using any add-ons right now, because I wanted to give the authors time to work on it. I have heard about the transition from the Twitch desktop app to manage our add-ons to something else. I will cross that bridge when I get to it. I will worry about that when it becomes time for that. Now, let's see. Where is the guide recruiter here in Orgrimmar? I knew where it was in Stormwind, but where is it here in Orgrimmar? Ah, right here. Guide recruiter.
How many?
Oh, look at that. So it looks like it's a character thing. Boom.
Eternal sun shine upon thee.
Okay. So it's a character thing, it seems. Maybe? Newcomer chat. So is that a separate channel? Yes. Huh. Okay. So it seems like it could be a character thing rather than an account thing. Well, that's a shame, because I was hoping that if it was account-wide and I could just be able to answer that like on any characters and such that I'm playing at the time. Because that would be nice. So, yeah. That is the guide system. So if you have met that criteria and you want to help out newer players, please don't do so to troll new players. Be an actual helpful veteran player helping out new players. Because we were new players once. I know, but like I said before, I wish I had somebody to help me out when I was a new player. I didn't. I had to learn this all by my lonesome. I know that sounds strange to some of you who play this as an MMO, but I really did have to learn this all by myself. I didn't have other friends or such that played this. I didn't know anybody that played this game personally. It wasn't until later on I actually started to meet and interact with other people that also played this that I was like, oh, hey, let's play together. Or people that I met while playing this game that we then became friends later on. So, yeah. Okay, I think that's all that I know that comes to mind, other than there's a couple of things. I, of course, like I told you guys, am planning on showing you guys the new starting zone, Exile's Reach. I might do something to try and showcase the scaling and how it might be nowadays. Like, for example, if you were to go to, you know, the Burning Steps and you would go to Blackrock Mountain, like Molten Core, yesterday, I took my level 50 Druid in there, and everything in there was like level 30. So, it was funny. I was trying to stealth my way through in cat form, and he got detected, which he never gets detected doing that by the core hounds, but I did. And then they attacked, but then I was still able to one-shot everything in there. So, yeah. So, it's a little interesting. So, I mean, I was still able to one-shot stuff, like I said, so... But it's obviously going to be a little testing. Now, of course, that was stuff from vanilla. That was Molten Core. You know, I still have yet to test some of the other content in this. Like, I'm curious about how some of our characters are going to do with some more other recent content. Like, for example, how are we going to do... Like, I have yet to see how Nyalotha is with our characters in this state and how that is. I'm curious about going to do Legion stuff, you know, others as well. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that. I haven't decided yet. So, yeah, if I figure out or find any other things I want to touch up on when it comes to the changes in the pre-patch, I will do a follow-up on this, and I will see you guys then.